Hiya, so I'm just jumping on to talk about the two subjects today. One being Johnny Smith being put back in prison, which is absolutely amazing news. Just want to make a few pointers about the whole situation. So obviously Johnny was released in December, and from December he's done nothing but torture my family, mock John's death, just constant coming after my daddy, my brother, all of us, all while we were trying to grieve. Now, Christmas Day was John's second Christmas Day, but our first one without him, because last year we didn't have the confirmation that he was actually dead. So it was a really heightened time for us, and we were trying to just get on with our first Christmas without him, while we were obviously navigating that as a family. Johnny Smith was on doing videos saying he was going to fight this one and do this and do that, and Billy George this and Don George, and just constant threats and really childish behaviour, if you ask me. If you done 9 months in a detention centre, there was one in prison, tried to get out on bail every single week, do you not think you would keep your head down and keep a low profile? Not Mr. and Mrs. social media. They came out, flaunted everything, wanted everything published to try and annoy us, to obviously get under our skin. No matter what they do, nothing will ever be nothing will ever equal to losing John, so there's nothing much more that they can do to annoy us. But how dare they do what they've done to us, as in whatever with John, and then running around Spain looking for his body, playing the constant mind games, just everything. They're just horrible people. But look, it came back to bite him in the bum, because now he's away back to an actual jail. He's not even in the wee detention centre. He's going to the proper prison. And that prison is also the man who is a suspect of killing Michal Malley. I'm sure we all know what that story was about, so I'm sure they'll have a good wee catch up and a cup of tea, probably sort out payments and whatever. But in terms of Friday with the judge, we were at the Hideout. We have collected every bit of evidence. There is no switch off of us, morning, noon and night. It's John's Justice, and it'll be that way until John's Justice. So we had every single thing there. Our solicitor presented it in front of the judge. Judge took into consideration every single thing, and just thought he was very arrogant and cocky. Sorry, shouting at me, but anyway, so yes, judge thought he was very arrogant, very smug. There's never been a sign of remorse from any of them from day dot, because they're just horrible. But yeah, look where it's got them. To be fair, I did think he would have run again, but I know his solicitor has says, you run, you are double screwed, because you'll never get bail again. So obviously his solicitor's going to fight this to get him out again. But right now we're really happy with the work our solicitor has done, and the evidence that we have got, and everything else in between, because he's back where he belongs. The brass neck of his family members to come out and say he's away for fighting. Bear in mind, he was caught with ammunition 2-3 weeks ago. He is brought back in because of threats to the Georges. That's why he is brought back in. He is harassing and torturing the family. That is why his bail was revoked, because on his bail conditions he wasn't allowed to do none of that. He wasn't allowed near Michal Malley. He wasn't allowed to do a lot of stuff, but he still continued to do. And we just racked up everything that he was doing, gave it to the solicitor put it in front of the judge, and that's how it went in our favour. So that's how Johnny's bail got broke. Nothing to do with fights. Don't know about the ammunition charges. That's completely separate to John. He will obviously do time for that, but they also were touting. So the ammunition carry on happened, and then they went in the ghost mode. Didn't pop up for nothing, and now all of a sudden they're doing see you soon pictures. and whatever else. Like, it's really laughable. But I am just glad that he is where he is. And the rest will just follow. Like, karma is a thing, and it's been working. It's magic. And there's nothing else really. If you need me to explain anything else, I will explain. But that's just the explanation of how he ended up back in jail, and that his wife will be probably, I don't know what she's doing, move on to the next one or something. Because they have an open marriage, which is really strange. But yeah, so I don't know if that'll be him until the trial, or he's going to try and fight to get out again. Nothing surprises me at this moment in time, but right now he's in. And I hope he has a lovely welcome into back to his kingdom, because he lived like a king. But for someone that lives like a king, he tried to get out every single week on bail until it was that one judge that he was able to get out on. But yeah, back to the kingdom, and I'm sure he has plenty of friends that want to catch up as well. So yeah, enjoy your time in, and I'll keep you updated in the next one. This is part 2 of my video. This one is about, I'm going to explain the video from yesterday that Liz O'Neill put up, Freedom of Expression put on their page. A few people are confused, so I'll break it down for you. This is Madison talking to someone who they paid to hack the phones to clear a lot of evidence from. So she's breaking everything down, being like look at this, blah blah blah, saying that basically the alibi that they had was he was at home with the dogs. The dogs, there's no photos of him at home with the dogs. Madison's holding the dogs with her hands, and Madison took all the pictures. She actually tried to use that in front of one of the judges before for bail, and the judge actually, sorry, my phone went there, but just so the judge said here, don't insult my intelligence, because it's obviously bullshit. So this is a video of her explaining, like, this is Georgie's stuff, Johnny was away to meet, blah blah blah. I'll let you listen.
What do you have from last night? And then we found it, so I sent it straight to his solicitor, 8 o'clock. Obviously, sending Georgie his picture, saying I'm coming with your stuff. Know what I mean? If it was premeditated, you wouldn't bring this kind of stuff, because he would have been dead.
So that in itself is putting her in the whole position of being like an accomplice, saying that he would already be dead. How would you know he would already be dead? Because you know. Do you know what I mean? Bringing the bag was also taking a picture of it to be like, look, I'm bringing this, for a false narrative. We'll continue on anyway.
And then 11:36, Domino's. Yeah. Where is it?
11:36, Domino's. John's time of death was 10, half 10. So yeah, obviously murder him, come back, get a Domino's, they don't care, because these are the type of people that we're dealing with. They don't care. Had to eat Domino's. She also had to eat Cheers a couple of days after it too, to Merry Christmas and whatever. This is the poison that we're dealing with. But back to the video.
Where the fuck is it? Don't know where it is, but there's a picture and both my hands are in it, and someone took a picture of the dog, so that's Johnny. That's Johnny at home. So it is.
So for example, I could lift the dog right now on my selfie stick and set a timer and take pictures, screenshot them. That's that alibi done. This girl is proper thick, like proper thick.
And that's at 10:58. All the pictures and videos on Mike's is after 11, so we need to get Johnny out of them all and just have them as Mike.
We need to get Johnny out of them all and just have them as Mike. There you have it. Just a wee tiny inch of evidence that I have backed up on everything. Why would you need Johnny out of them? Why, if Johnny's innocent, Johnny wasn't there, Johnny was with the dogs, Johnny was having dominoes, why do you need Johnny out of all the videos? Why do you need the hacker to clear Johnny of everything? Because Johnny was there. I also have confessions, which she hasn't even realised that she's confessed, of the whole event as well. There's a lot I can blast, and I've chosen not to because it could be used in the courts. But if they're not going to use it in the courts, and if they're going to basically rule her out, then it's her I'm coming after, and it's her that is going to sink Johnny's ship and everybody else's, because the girl can't keep her mouth shut. This was a girl acting big Jack the Whack to people to try and show off, and look where it's got her, because I can flip one switch the world upside down, and I'm biting my tongue. So that was just a wee snippet. There's a lot more. The solicitors obviously have it. They're working through what they cannot keep and do and use. But I always say, whatever justice we can't get, we'll get it ourselves. And if it means I can tarnish her reputation and her name, even though there's not even left to tarnish, I will. So yeah, that's video number 2, and just can let me know what your intake is on the whole video of the fake alibi and how sick this girl is. Yeah, any more updates I'll let you know.